Hello again, I'm Bob Colton. We're continuing our conversations in Charlotte Public Schools. Rick Loughrige is with me today. Rick, tell people a little bit about what you do.
Well, I have a caseload of about 12 emotionally impaired students. I look after them, help them to do well in their classes, meet with their teachers if they're struggling, write their IEPs, and just basically try to encourage them and get them to graduation.
Well, you're doing a good job. You are Employee of the Month, Rick. Congratulations on that. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's quite an honor to me, Bob. It's just I'm kind of it was certainly unexpected, and it's a wonderful honor. I'm flattered.
And you're also a woodshop teacher.
I am.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I teach woodshop to some of our special needs students who might not necessarily have an opportunity to participate in a program like that, and it's one of the things that I really enjoy doing, so I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a part of what I went into education for, and I've been able to use it from time to time, but never as a shop teacher.
Well, talk a little bit about what you have the young people doing.
Well, right now we have a new group coming in, so we teach them how to measure. Sometimes that's one of the hard things for them to do, and we do it through a series of picture drawings, and they get success, and the drawings become increasingly difficult as they learn to measure to a 1/16 of an inch. So by the time we're done, they're able to do that, and then we start building the projects. And I also have a more advanced group that's already gone through. We've built a number of projects. We built a bird feeder, and they built a board game, and right now they're building, my more advanced students are doing a little more furniture making, and they're going to make a bookcase.
So, that's kind of amazing. All that stuff I couldn't do. So it must be tough to take young people through a process, but they're pretty good at it. They pick this stuff up.
Oh yeah, they're excellent. They're excellent. And I always say that nothing is hard once you know how to do it. And
Yeah.
It's just taking the time and learning how to do it, and they love it. I don't know anyone who doesn't love making things. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, talk about the special needs for special needs students. As
Sure.
somebody who's really focused on helping that sector or area of young people, what do you have to think about that maybe a normal teacher with a regular class wouldn't have to consider?
I think the level that the students are at, and I don't know that it's not different than what regular teachers in a regular education setting have to think about, because I taught social studies for about 13 or 14 years, and previous to that I taught a group of emotionally impaired kids, and you get a wide range of students. And so I think looking at ability levels, and knowing though with those kids that it's going to take a little bit more time, and sometimes making use of the students that you have, because you do, even within a special needs classroom, you may have quite a difference in ability level. So using some of those kids, because you can't be in 15 places at once, but once the students understand what you've taught them, they feel good about showing the other students what they know and helping them along as well. So we've tried to take advantage of that also.
Yeah, and so to actually work with young people with special needs, you have to have some special training and certification and
Sure.
stuff. Talk a little bit about your experience and some of the things that you have to employ as strategies that other teachers don't. You talked about the parallels. A lot of things are the same, but you have some special knowledge.
Sure. I coming out of school, when I was going to Western Michigan University, a part of what I did in the summertime was work with physically impaired and cognitively impaired adults. And then before after, when I went back to get my master's degree in special education, attended Western Michigan University in their program there through an internship at Star Commonwealth, where I worked with young people who had been in trouble with the law. And that was a tremendous experience for me, learning experience.
What does it take, Rick? More patience, more assessment, more direction? Is there anything that you do more or less that another teacher next to you wouldn't do?
I think, I don't know, you know, it's, in work with the people that I work with, I think they do a great job, so it's hard to say that I do more or less than what they do, but I think one thing that I try to do is, you do need to be patient with the kids, and I think every day is a new day. That's what I try to let the kids be aware that, you know, I see that every day for them is a new day, and whether it's some of our cognitively impaired students who might need more help and patience in when someone might think, well, I went over this yesterday, they should understand it. And sometimes that's just not the case for some of our kids. And for others that have trouble in their decision-making process, just knowing that even if they make mistakes, that you're on their side.
Yeah,
you're still there for them.
A mistake is part of a learning
It
process.
is. That's why they put erasers on pencils. If they didn't expect people to make mistakes, those wouldn't be there.
Yeah. And so talk about the uniqueness maybe of the young people you deal with in Charlotte. What I mean, you obviously manage a lot of cases, but give us a taste or a flavor of some circumstance in those cases that make you, give you some direction on how to think and program a young person's education.
Well, without without going against any confidentiality of students, I think we have it's a working community. We have people who struggle financially. Myself, my father was a steel worker, so I think our kids deal with adversity, financial adversity at times, and sometimes difficulties in families and that sort of thing, and sometimes a lot of single parent families, and they just have difficulties making it and in getting by, and so a lot of that comes to school with the kids, and until some of those things have to be managed, we have to make sure that some of those issues are resolved, or the kids understand that we're trying to help them to get those issues resolved, because if that's on their mind, it's difficult for some of them. If you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, it's a little difficult to worry about algebra or biology at times.
Yeah,
so,
you have to be ready to learn.
Sure.
And those things in working a case or a young person, you've got to really think about what their circumstance is. And what do you do? Are there direct ways or assistance that you can help them, or is it sometimes just dealing with what you have walks in the door that day?
Well, I think, you always play with the cards that you're dealt, and the kids, I'm very proud of the kids that we have, because they are hard workers, and they come in, and I think one of the things that I try to tell them is that education is the key for their success, that it's a way out of difficult circumstances, and being able to speak to that myself, and I think it lends some credibility to the kids in saying that. But also, as a part of my job, we have social workers that we try to connect the kids to. Many of our students, we try to get them, we talk about hands-on things. We have a program that continues education for our high school students outside in vocational areas that we can connect our students to. So that's a part of what I do, and it's a part of what I feel good about, is that knowing that we can our students can leave and have the skills necessary to get a decent job when they're done. And a lot of our kids go to LCC in their auto repair or welding program.
Well, you must feel good about that.
Oh, I do. I feel fantastic about it. I just think it's a wonderful thing. It's certainly auto mechanics and welders can make a great living for their families, and I just think that once the kids have an opportunity to do that, you just see them, kind of light up, and they're excited about their futures, and it makes you feel good about what you do.
Oh, I bet. And,
yeah.
And so as you are continually making these assessments, you're really a connection to other people and to other services in kind of a holistic approach of helping young people. But I would imagine, too, that the best place for a lot of young people is at school.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I think one of the great things that we have the opportunity to do is encourage them and to share in their lives. And having taught at the middle school for many years and then seeing them again, it's kind of a great joy for me, to see them grow up and mature. And
Well, we'll talk about a case. Is there a young person or a case or someone that you can think of, and you don't have to tell me anything confidential,
right?
But is there a circumstance that you can think of looking back in which you've watched a young person grow and share in their success?
Sure. A young person who right now struggled, as a young person, making good decisions at a younger age, struggled with anger and just kind of coming into their own now, involved in the LCC program, and is going to graduate next year. We've got a student that's going to graduate this year.
That's
and
great.
Just very proud of them, even though this is my first year at the high school. Like I say, I've had an opportunity to see them kind of progress and come through. We had a student who will be graduating in a couple of years who had some major loss and has shown
Yeah. Well, and as,
just some courage.
As a young person has a loss, it could
Yeah.
be a family member or there could be something really tangible. They've
Yeah.
got to deal
Yeah.
with all of that stuff and still go to school.
Right.
And perform in school. And so
Yeah.
you kind of have to think about all that.
Well, you do, and I think for them too. I try to empathize with them. You can share. I lost my own father this last couple years ago, but I think one of the things that along with that is helping them to manage their lives and for them to understand that we do have losses, and yet as a part of becoming an adult is being able to, there's a time to talk about that, and sometimes you need to, but hey, you've got to work too, and that's a part of becoming, for him becoming a man, and not that you're denying the loss, but hey, that you go on and you take a look at what that person meant to you, and you help, you use it to kind of help you to be better too,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
And I think the thing with public education is that you deal with all types of young people.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick who walks in the door, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah,
You don't.
So that means you have to help them at a lot of different levels.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of the fun things. It's variety. Variety is the spice of life. And we have, like I said, we have some great kids, and they all have different abilities and different challenges. There's a young person that I work with, and we do some quotes. And one of my favorite quotes that he came in with was a quote from Albert Einstein, and it said that everyone is a genius, but if a fish was judged by its ability to climb a tree, it would go through its life feeling like it was stupid. And I think, recognizing the abilities and talents in kids, and for them to kind of embrace that and take some joy in it as well. Yeah.
Well, Rick, we thank you for the stories
Hey.
and the information and sharing this conversation in Charlotte Public Schools. I'm Bob Colt, and we'll continue our conversation in Charlotte Public Schools.